Hello, friends. My name is Miss Holly. Welcome to Chesapeake Public Library's Preschool Science class. Today we're going to talk about apples. Did you know that there's more than 7,500 different kinds of apples in the world? Apples come in all kinds of shades of red, green, and yellow. Some of them are sweet and some of them are tangy. What kind do you like the best? I like a Granny Smith apple. It's a nice firm apple with a tangy taste. Apples can be as small as a cherry or as big as a grapefruit. And did you know apples have been around so long that cavemen ate them? It takes 36 apples to make a gallon of cider. And an apple tree has to grow for 4 or 5 years before it can produce any fruit. Let's read a story about apples. This story is called Fall Apples, Crisp and Juicy. It's written by Martha E. H. Rustad and produced by Millbrook Press. Look, colorful leaves blow in the breeze. The air feels cooler. It is fall. Fall is a good time to visit an apple orchard. Fall is a good time to pick apples. Crunch! I bite through the red skin. The crisp white flesh tastes sweet. Juice drips down my chin. Surprise! Tiny dark seeds hide inside the core. How apple trees grow. Plop! An apple seed falls into the soil. Roots grow down, a stem grows up. Drip! Just enough rain helps the seed become a sprout. Just enough sunlight helps the sprout become a tree. Green leaves bud and spread. Leaves soak up the warm sunlight. Sunlight becomes food for the growing tree. I smell the sweet flowers. In the spring, white and pink apple blossoms bloom. Buzz! Bees drink nectar from apple flowers. Pollen from the flowers stick to their bodies. Bees spread pollen from tree to tree. Pollen from another tree fertilizes the flowers. Then their petals fall. Tiny green fruitlets form. During the summer, fruitlets grow into big apples. Pickers harvest apples in fall. Ripe apples pile up. Using apples. Let's visit the orchard's kitchen. Bakers peel, core, and cut apples to make pies. Ding! The pie is done. It smells like cinnamon and baked apples. My teeth crush the crisp crust. Let's make apple cider. Whirr, the grinder turns. It smashes the apples into pulp. Squish! The press squeezes the apple pulp. Cider trickles out. We drink the cider. It looks cloudier than apple juice. It tastes sweet and tart. Yum! Goodbye, orchard. Let's visit again next fall. The end. Let's sing a song about apples. Way up high in the apple tree, 2 red apples smiled at me. I shook that tree as hard as I could. Down fell the apples, were they good? Way up high in the apple tree, 2 red apples smiled at me. Have you ever bitten into an apple and set it down and come back later only to find that that nice crisp white flesh was turning icky brown? Ew. That's called oxidation. Oxidation in apples is a process that's similar to the rust that forms on metal. What happens is that the oxygen in the air reacts with an enzyme that's inside the apple, and it turns the apple brown. That's not very appetizing. Let's see if we can figure how to stop that oxidation. Let's try a bunch of different liquids to see if they will keep the apple from turning brown. To do this, we need an apple, and let's try lemon juice. So we'll make some salt water. We'll use plain water, vinegar, and let's try some milk. Let's see what they do. So first we're going to cut our apple into pieces. Now, if you're trying this at home, do this, have a grown-up cut your apple for you. So what you need to do is cut your apple into some small pieces. And then find a cup for each of the liquids you're going to do and write the name of the liquid on the outside. So we have vinegar, salt water, control. Control is important. I'll tell you about that one in a minute. And water, lemon juice, and milk. Now the control is our test to see what happens if you do nothing to it. So we're going to have just an empty cup here, and now we're going to put these 5 liquids in here. So this one says vinegar, so let's put some vinegar in this one. This one says salt water, so we're going to put some water in it first. And then take some salt. About a half a spoon or so, and mix it in with the water. This one says water, so this one's just the plain water. This one says control. Remember, control is nothing. This one says lemon juice, so let's take the lemon juice. And the last one says milk, so we'll put some milk in this one. Then take your apple pieces and put a couple pieces in each one of them. Don't forget to put a couple in the control. You want to see what happens when you do nothing. There's lemon juice and milk. Then let it sit there for a few minutes. And what you're going to do is take them out and put them on a plate. But you want to remember which one's which. So label your plate with your liquids. So I've got milk, lemon juice, water, salt water, vinegar, and control. So they sit in here for a couple minutes, and then we'll take them out. They're all covered up with all that liquid. So we're going to put this one says vinegar. Vinegar's over here. This one says salt water. So we're going to put the salt water where it says salt water right there. This one is plain water. That's water right there. This one is milk. Put the milk there. And this one is lemon juice. Put that one there. And the one that's missing is control. Control has no liquid in it, so we're going to put that one right there. Now, the oxidation process takes a while, a couple of hours. So I did this earlier. And let's see what happens after the apple's been sitting a while. This is a different kind of apple, so it's not quite the same color as this one. But here is my control. The control is the one that had nothing on it. So you can see that that apple is starting to turn brown. And if you look at the other ones, that doesn't look too bad. That's vinegar, salt water, water, that's got a little bit of brown on it. Lemon juice, no. And this one's milk. Oh, there's a little bit of brown on there too. So some of the controls is turning quite brown, and a couple of them are turning a little bit brown. Let's see. Now, there's two things working here. Remember, we dipped them in liquid and put them on the plate. So what happened is the liquid coated that apple piece, so it stopped the oxygen from reaching the apple, so it stopped it from turning brown. So all of the liquids coated the apple pieces a little bit. Remember, the control had no coat on it, so that one started oxidizing right away. And then there's another thing that's working here, is that the liquids that are sour, the vinegar and the lemon juice, react with the enzyme and stop it from working. So these ones won't turn brown. So that is our experiment here, and you can try this at home. Remember, it takes a little while to work, so do it and then set it aside and then come back later and look at it. Thank you for coming to class today. I hope you learned a little bit about apples and oxidation. See you next time.